Alright, welcome to my post on low-calorie alcoholic drinks. Now, first up, I think I'd like to state from the beginning that ideally, if you're on a weight loss program or you're trying to work out, get that six-pack, well, I don't think drinking alcohol is really such a great idea because it doesn't really do great things to your system other than dehydrating you, the calories, etc., etc. So, preferable situation is not to, but if for some reason you actually have no choice or it's just one of those things, then I guess this is the video for you. So anyway, let's move on. First up, we're going to talk about beer. Now, technically beer is not really high calories. Most calories are low, and the good thing about beer calories is that they are per bottle. So having said that, you'd think that beer like Guinness, for example, would be high calorie, but it's not. It's 126 calories a bottle, which is not bad. So if you're having a couple of bottles, you're packing it up at about 250 calories. So that's actually not too bad at all. But on average, a bottle of beer is like 150. It goes as high as 200, but on average, it's 150. So I don't think you have to scrounge too much. So beer is not too bad. The thing is, you get some pretty low beers. You're getting like 90 calories a bottle. But the problem with those is that they're not very strong, so you'll end up drinking more beer. So you kind of defeat the entire purpose. So beer is not bad. If you can just stick to one beer, it's alright. Switching to wine now. Now, wine can be bad for you. Now, I know everybody hears these reports about how wine is so good for your health, etc., etc. I mean, wine, don't get me wrong, wine has a lot of good things. But the problem is, while beer is actually described as calories per bottle, here we look at calories per glass, and it's almost comparable. For example, the average glass of wine is 120 calories a glass. So you have 4 glasses, not only will you be slightly high, but you'll be like 480 calories down. The average is more often than not how it goes, but it can go as high as 200 and it can go as low as 90. So if you can find wines that are like 90 calories or something, you're alright, but if anything, I'd stick to something else. Now, moving on to liquors and spirits. Well, basically we're talking about like vodka, rum, tequila, that sort of thing here. Those are not too bad. What creates the real damage here are things like the mixers. The mixers, for example, Coke sets you back about 50 calories a shot. Tonic, which is worse, is 80 calories. So if you have a gin and tonic, a gin, vodka, rum, a double pretty much sets you back 160. So 160 plus 80 for the tonic, that's 240 calories for a single drink. You have 3 or 4, you're pretty much sorted. Thing is, the thing that does the most damage are the cocktails. Now, if you look at these numbers, it's just insane. A Long Island iced tea is 780 calories. You have 2 of those, you're doing some serious damage. A margarita, which is, I mean, it's a serious crowd favorite, 700 calories. Pina colada, 644. It's absolutely insane. So I would stay away from drinks like that. Ideally, if you must have a cocktail, these are the kind of cocktails you should have. A mojito, which is only like 149 plus. When I say plus, it is because the recipes kind of vary. So depending from bar to bar, you're looking at 149 to maybe 200 maximum. 125 for a Bloody Mary, it doesn't get better than that. And 176 for a Moscow Mule. Both of those are absolutely stunning. So if you're actually sticking to a drink, either have one beer. One beer is fine, 2 beers maybe, you're still looking at about 200, not too much damage done. Wine, a single glass. Again, 2 maximum. I wouldn't really push it. If you're doing cocktails, please stay away from stuff like the Long Island iced tea. They do some serious damage. I mean, for that 700 calories, say you have 2, that's 1,500 in those 2 drinks alone. You could have so much so much more of everything else. So stay away from it. Instead, stick to either vodka, Diet Coke, which is just 160 a drink, but if you must, stuff like Bloody Marys, they're perfect. Mojitos, perfect stuff. And the thing with cocktails is you are forced to sip it. You're not gonna down the damn thing. So anyway, I hope this helped. If you need any more information and other fat loss, weight loss related stuff, pop by to my blog, fatlosschool.com. Thanks for listening.